Let's be honest, we all have had those moments in which we use our phones after waking up to check our messages, on our way to school and work, or really whenever it's possible and we want to. And because of these skills that we have built and acquired, I assume it's safe to say that we all have accepted the fact that technology plays a role in our lives. However, there's a continuous ongoing debate as to whether this technology is really good or bad. In fact, multiple people within our society believe that technology has only caused harm to their lives and community, whereas others believe that it has made their lives more relaxed and enriching compared to what they would have been with its absence. To find the true answer to this question, it's important to understand both the positive and negative sides. Since the beginning of time, the goal of civilization was to improve their way of life. This idea is clearly seen through the advancement of household appliances. I mean, things like refrigerators, ovens, microwaves, dishwashers, and vacuum cleaners. This list can go on and on. All of these technical innovations have made household work much more easier than what it used to be about 100 years ago. However, this has resulted in both negative and positive effects. The positive side of this was that we were able to decrease the amount of time and effort we invested in doing our household chores, and we were left with extra time for various activities. The negative side, however, was what we chose to do with this extra time that we were given. And normally, this extra time was used for relaxation. And even though this made us happier, at times it's affected our health. Recently, we all have become more aware of various heart diseases and health problems that occur due to the lack of exercise. To think about it, we would have gotten the necessary amount of exercise that we needed about 100 years ago just by doing our daily chores. But now, since work isn't as hard as it used to be, and people don't normally prioritize their health and exercise, this has resulted with various drawbacks. Of course, we can blame technology for its advancements and affecting our lifestyle in such a way, but it's our own fault because we were the ones who decided on using our time in such a negative way. Let's take a look at ourselves as teenagers. How many of you have ever had questions regarding an assignment or homework and just searched for the answer or solution on Google? I mean, we have to be true to ourselves here and admit to the fact that we all have done this at least once. But how many of you truly learn or even just remember anything from doing this? What we really need to be thinking about here is whether technology is making us smarter and more knowledgeable, or is it really just making us dumber because we're so dependent on it for all of its answers, other than just learning for ourselves? I believe it's fair to say that technology has already made a huge impact on our lives. But what about future technology? Let's take artificial intelligence as an example. This is a topic that people used to make jokes about during cocktail parties, but now is a real and legitimate thing in our world at this present time. It's predicted that in the next 5 years, less than 10% of the world population will be wearing clothes that change their color, shape, form, size, and temperature based on the individual's body temperature and the external temperatures. Along with this, it's predicted that in the next 2 to 3 years, artificial intelligence will be able to shop, cook, and clean for us humans. Let's take a step back and come back to present times. I'm pretty sure everyone here has heard of devices such as Alexa and Siri. Aren't they amazing? I mean, if you ever have a question, you don't even have to go onto Google anymore. You can just pull out your phone and say, "Hey Siri," and ask your question. Or let's say you're at home and you're in your living room and you want to relax a little, but you want to dim the lights. You don't even have to get up. All you have to do is say, "Alexa, dim the lights." Of course, these devices are extremely helpful and they've played a huge role in our lives. But how many of you have thought of the fact that what these devices are really doing is just listening in on our conversations and collecting data? Think of it this way. Whenever we say, "Hey Siri" or "Alexa," what these devices are doing are just really responding to our commands. But all those other times we think that these devices are turned off, they're really just listening in on our conversations and picking up various information and keywords, which is then stored by the developers of these devices. These developers then sell this information to various companies, and these companies that take in this information use them to create products based off of our interests as consumers. Then they pressure us to buying these products. And due to this, we can see that industrialization and manufacturing has highly increased, due to the availability of technology. According to various sources in the IT and engineering field, it is believed that technology comes with two things: promises and unidentified consequences. An area of crime that has highly benefited from this advancement is the drug market. In fact, it is one of the largest criminal markets in the EU because more than 45% of the criminal groups in Europe are responsible for the production and distribution of drugs. Unfortunately, due to this advancement, these criminal groups have been able to increase their production rate and their output towards the whole world. According to research done by Europol, another area of crime that has highly benefited from this has been the market of counterfeit products and counterfeit banknotes. Now, I'm pretty sure all of you here have heard of devices known as 3D printers. I mean, they're such an amazing device because you can use them to build and manufacture literally any object. And these objects can be made in materials of plastic, metal, and ceramics. But did you know that multiple criminals have used 3D printers to 3D print handguns and bullets along with other weapons that they use while committing crimes? At the end of the day, it's important to understand that technology does not just appear out of the blue or fall from the sky, but rather that it is created by us humans, and we're the ones who control it. So I think that the question shouldn't be whether technology is good or bad, but whether we are human enough or not. Thank you.